Okay, we are now recording.
Nice.
Hello, Dr. Draws, and I'd like to ask you the first question, the standard first question. How many of my typing sessions have you seen before?
I've seen probably around 10, but
Okay.
I watched them like while you were not on hiatus, so before your hiatus. So
Okay.
maybe like a few months ago. I really don't know like how the time frame goes. So
Okay, cool. And when did you first learn about typology?
I think it was when I was like 13.
Did they give
Or
you a test in school or something?
no. I was at like a friend's house, and we were doing stuff together on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I got it from. Excuse me?
And you took a test? You took a
Yeah,
personality
we took
test
the
online?
test. We both like
Okay.
he got
Don't tell
something
me what
like
you got. Don't tell me what you got.
I remember what he got though. He got like I think it was ISTJ or something.
Okay. Cool. So it sounds like you're from another country than America.
I am from another country than America.
Okay.
You can tell that from my accent.
Yeah. It sounds like Eastern Europe.
It's I am it's not it's a Slavic country, if that's what you're talking about, if you're associating it with like Russian, right?
Yeah, kind of Eastern European, Russian-y sounding. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily not it's not quite, where the Balkans are at?
Yeah, sure.
Like right, like where Greece is, right?
Okay.
Right above Greece is this country called North Macedonia, and I'm from
Oh
that
yeah,
country.
I know about Macedonia. You guys just became a country recently.
Yeah. Right. Like
Congratulations.
thank you.
Do you guys have a national anthem yet, or are you still trying to decide
We
which
have a national
song?
anthem. Maybe you're mixing us up with like Kosovo, or maybe you're mixing it up. We just got like our name got changed. We didn't become a country recently, but our name got changed. So it
Oh,
used
your
to
name
be
got changed.
Republic of Macedonia. Yeah, no, we called ourselves the Republic of Macedonia. To the outside world, we were former Yugoslavic country of Macedonia. But like with I think it was because of some political pressures from Greece and some other countries that didn't like our name, that didn't
Why
like
didn't they like it?
well, there's a region like northern Greece, there's this region called Macedonia in Greece. They call it Macedonia. So basically they were basically the whole argument is you're plagiarizing a
Don't
region
have
that's
the
out.
same name as our part of Greece. That's basically
Right,
what they're saying.
right, yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, yeah, I guess I must have gotten that mixed up with you getting a new name and being a new country all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. Can you talk to me about fashion? What are some of your opinions about fashion? I'm gonna start at a different place than normal today.
I'm not a very fashionable person. I just wear what's comfortable for me, and not necessarily what's like. I maybe I should like. I like long jackets, like those long like like the
Trench
here.
coats, like
I
trench
guess
coats or pea coats.
I'm not familiar with the English words for it.
Okay, I got you though. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, do you judge other people's fashion when you're out and about? Do you notice like, oh, that lady's wearing a hideous coat, or oh, that
If it's
person's dressed sharp?
if it yes and no. If you're like in the middle, if you're not really, if you fall in, how do I say this? Wait. In my language, it's we say ako paget voko, which translates to if it falls in the eye. So if you if it's noticeable, I do notice it. If there is a lady that I see and she's wearing a terrible, like an awful coat, I will notice it. But if you're just wearing average clothing, I'm not gonna notice it.
If you're just bland, you're not gonna notice.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say that person's too bland.
Right. Right.
Okay. Then is there anybody with whom you'd have a conversation about, say, that hideous coat and why it's a bad coat?
No, not really.
If asked to explain why it's a bad coat, would you be able to explain why it's a bad coat?
Probably, yeah, I would.
Okay. What kind of media do you consume when you're not consuming something to learn anything? So no educational stuff, but just for entertainment, what media do you consume?
I read novels and I scroll through YouTube.
Okay. Do you have a genre of fiction that you prefer?
Yes, it's these Chinese novels. They're translated in English, but they're originally written in Chinese. And the genre is martial arts, but they're not like, it's not like regular martial arts where you have actual fighting moves and such. It's like supernatural martial arts where the characters develop basically superpowers through meditation and
are they manga?
I've read manga, yes, but
the ones you're talking about don't have pictures.
No, they're novels.
Okay, interesting. That sounds cool. I like to read stuff like that too. I mean, not specifically that, but I mean like magic power shit.
Yeah, right. That's fine.
Okay, cool. So let me see. Can you tell me about the last time you took a trip? First, tell me like your overview of the trip you took, and then tell me, if you can, your favorite moment from the trip.
The last trip I took, like outside the country or somewhere else in general?
We're just away from your home. Maybe it could have been like a day trip to a city nearby to go to see some museum or something, you know, whatever.
Right. Well, the last time I was outside my city, the city I live in. Sorry. The last time was like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I went to our capital city in my country. It's called Skopje, and I went to see my friends and my ex. I'm still friends with my ex, so I went to see her. I guess I need to state I didn't do anything in particular, but the best part of that trip was me talking with my brother who's currently studying in Skopje. And we were talking about like how these scientists, these researchers, like put human neurons in a petri dish, connected the neurons with electrodes, and taught the neurons basically how to they taught the neurons how to play like that ping pong game. You know that ping pong game, like with the lines and you move pong, yeah, where you like move them, and the neurons learned how to play that. I'm not sure what the mechanism was that they used to teach the neurons or how the whole input-output system was set up, but it worked, and that was really cool. And we were talking about how like a human being, if we look at it as like a whole nervous system, right? If biologically the thing closest to yourself would be the nervous system, right? Because that's where all the data aspects of our existence are happening, all the exchange, all the reflexes, all the limbic system, right? The emotions and everything. So I was talking about how like as human beings, we're not that far off from you know, like a bunch of neurons in a petri dish, and like and some other stuff, which I can't really recollect well. It got really deep and stuff, and like I was really in the zone in the moment. And when I'm in the zone, and when I'm like thinking, and when I'm actually making all these connections, I have a little trouble recollecting the same thing I went through, the same thoughts I went through back then, right now in the moment, if you get what I'm saying.
Sure. That is interesting to hear. I'm curious about how they define having taught the neurons to do something. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
that would suggest that somehow they were doing it independently of like binarily causal triggers.
Binarily causal triggers. What does
Triggers,
that
right.
mean?
So in other words, they're not sending some electrical impulse which predictably causes the neuron to do yeah. If the neurons have learned to do it,
Right.
then the scientists have some distance between themselves and the neurons and their process, right? That's what it suggests.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, so what do you think about artificial intelligence? Do you think that, well, let me just leave it at that. What do you think about artificial intelligence?
I think it has potential to be really of great use to humanity. I'm not sure, like, you can do with things you can do with artificial intelligence, like self-driving cars, for instance. Like, it's going to have a major impact on how we live on a day-to-day basis in the future, maybe in like maybe 5 years, maybe a decade, maybe a few decades. But like, I think it's gonna, I'm not sure exactly what the impacts are going to be, because you can't really predict that. Like, no, I bet no one predicted phones, right? And how dominant of a part of our lives they are today. I doubt anyone could have predicted that. Like, maybe, you know, those glasses, those VR glasses, but like they're like regular glasses, but they're VR glasses. Like, maybe people are gonna be all wearing QR coded clothing. And when you look at people, have you watched Psychopaths?
No.
Well, in Psychopaths, basically people can select their clothing from an AI. So like, they ask an AI to give them this outfit, and it gives them the outfit, and everyone can see the outfit, but they're not actually wearing the outfit. The outfit is like virtual. I'm not, like, maybe with 3D projection or something like that. That's how they wear it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. So, all right. So, do you think you should define artificial intelligence as that which is empowered to make decisions for us?
Mm. To some degree, yes, because the amount of data that artificial intelligence can go through would probably magnitudes greater than like what we can process. So at some point, I think getting AI to make decisions for you would be more beneficial to you than you making decisions for yourself, to a certain degree in certain aspects of your life. So not all aspects.
Do you think artificial intelligence will ever be able to display intuition?
What do you mean by display intuition?
I mean, are there some decisions that require an intuitive leap that humans attend by way of that we won't be able to artificially duplicate?
I'm not sure. Probably yes. They probably will be able to duplicate it.
Okay. Do you feel like you're more informed by your intuition or your experience?
On a practical level, by my experience. On a actual communicative level, like when I'm actually having a discussion about something, I rely heavily on my intuition, I think. Like, you're following the general train of thought that's going on in the conversation, and you're making all these connections. And as you said, you make a leap, right? You make these leaps that you can't exactly describe, where the leap is coming from exactly, but it's there. You're aware of it. So I think for like general awareness in a conversation of the topic at hand, I lean on intuition, but in practical matters, I lean on experience.
Okay. And to which kind of matter do you think you pay more attention? Practical matters or metaphysical things, philosophical matters?
I think I lean more towards philosophical matters. I used to have it was very difficult for me to hold conversations with people on regular matters because, like, with my ex-girlfriend, for instance, she'd always talk about her experiences, like what happened the day before, who she hung out with, mainly people stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Like this, like, oh my God, Darker Dress, you never guess who I saw at the store yesterday. It was Julie. And then she and I went down that first aisle, where the pineapples are. And I was like, oh my God, it's been such a long time. Like that.
I mean, not more calm, I'd say, but like, sort of, yeah, like, gossip, general gossip.
So you're not that interested in gossip. What about celebrity gossip?
No, not at all. I'm totally. I mean, I was a little like I remember the Kanye thing. I remember the Johnny Depp thing with
Which
Amber
Kanye
Heard.
thing? I'm assuming Johnny Depp talking about Amber Heard, but what Kanye thing are you talking about?
Like his problem with Jewish people.
Oh, he doesn't like Jewish people? I didn't even know.
I mean, basically, he said that he loves Hitler, something like that. I'm pretty sure he meant it I'm pretty sure he meant it in the sense of like God loves all people, and God loves Hitler too, and Kanye loves Hitler as well. But I'm not sure exactly if that was what he meant. But like,
I think he meant to say I love sweaters.
Well, how did you make that leap?
Yeah, he made a typo. He made a typo.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah.
Okay, let me ask you some TI questions, and we'll get down into the TI stuff and move from there. So, if some people like cheese and some cheese likers play baseball, is it necessarily the case that some people play baseball?
No.
Correct. If all polar bears eat seals and I eat seals, am I necessarily a polar bear?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me who my mother's husband's only daughter's only brother is in relation to me?
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
Mother's husband's only daughter's only brother.
Mother's husband's only daughter. Yeah. That's as much as I can remember.
Mother's husband's only daughter's only brother.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Okay. How about we try one of these ones? If I have an apple or I have an orange, then I will make fruit salad.
Okay.
I will not make fruit salad. What can we conclude?
You neither have an apple or an orange.
Correct. Okay. How about if only poets are allowed in this club and I'm not allowed in this club, can we conclude that I'm not a poet?
And you're not in the club, or you're not invited in the club?
Yeah, if only poets are allowed in this club and I'm not allowed in this club,
right?
Not allowed in this club.
No, I got it.
I'm not a poet.
Yeah, we can conclude that.
I'm going to say no on this. I think you're wrong about that. But that's what I thought at first when I was making the question too. But I realized actually they may have other reasons why they don't let people in besides just not being a poet.
There might be other reasons, right? Okay.
Yeah. All right, fine. So are you all done with your education and stuff? Like, did you go to college or something?
I finished high school. I went to college for like 2 years, like medicine, and then I left. Tried to get like into art, but I made a bit of money online, but then I found out that in my country you can't receive money on PayPal. So I went through like a little bit of a depressive phase where
why can't you receive PayPal money in North Macedonia?
A lot of people exploited the system in our country, and we got a ban. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard from like people here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
you were able to send me money via PayPal.
You can send money via PayPal, but you can't receive money via PayPal.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, better than nothing, I guess. So, all right. Let me ask you some expert intuition questions. Can you tell me some possible ways to have a circle instead of a rectangle comprise how you go between rooms? So in other words, make some circle doors. What are some different ways you might make a circle door?
What are some ways you can construct a circle door, or ways you can like use a circle?
What are some ways you can design a circle door?
Well, it's going to be a circle door. What do you
well, for example, you could have two halves of the circle and have it open like this.
Oh, right. You can have like it open from the top like that, like a Lamborghini opens up, you know?
Okay, yeah.
But then you can go through the orientations: top, left, right, bottom. Let me think of one. A circle door. Could it be like a spiral door where it like opens like a spiral somehow? No, that wouldn't work.
I don't know. I couldn't visualize it.
Yeah.
But you could have a sliding door, right? That when you have it closed all the way, the circle, half circles are like on this sides of it, like this, and then when you have it open all the way, the two half circles make a circle in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I really don't. I really can't think of like any other ways. I think it's too simple of a thing.
Okay. How do you want to solve the problem of plastics in the ocean?
Get countries that have like ports at the sea, well, not ports, like countries that are by the sea, get them to be more economically get their economy up. So because most of the debris that are sent into the sea are like from like countries like, I'm saying like too much, fuck, are from I think it was like Indonesia, Malaysia, maybe, I'm not sure, but basically their economies are really bad and they don't have good infrastructure, and most of the garbage goes to the sea. So,
Rachel, can you come help me out for a minute or two? Okay. So you're saying if they had better economies, then they'd self-police their pollution better? Okay. I'm gonna ask Rachel to take over for a few minutes here, because you have successfully convinced me to smoke a cigarette. Except I smoke outside, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Rachel, Rachel's capable of hands for a few minutes.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Doctor. Hi, Dr. Droz.
You can call me Damien.
Damien?
Damien, yeah, you can call me that.
Okay, I will then. All right, Damien. What are some things that you look for in a partner, a coworker, and a friend?
I look for efficiency in a coworker and like reliability. In a friend, I look for someone I can converse with. And in a romantic partner, romantic partner. I don't think I have many, like, maybe like I look for someone who's not gonna tell my secrets to other people.
Okay.
And someone who isn't gonna talk bad about me in front of other people. Maybe that's it, but that's like with anyone. That's not necessarily with a romantic partner, right? That's with anyone. But I guess for a romantic partner, my bar is kind of low. I guess loving them maybe, but like no one fills the condition of you loving them until you get in a relationship, you spend some time together, you like share some experiences, have deep conversations, and then you can start sort of loving the person. But I don't think you can really love someone before getting to know them. So I think it's much more complex with a romantic partner than it is with, let's say, a coworker or like with a friend.
Okay. So do you think that friendships can happen more instantaneously than a romantic partner?
I mean, you can go out on a party and meet a girl and make out with her and then like start a whole thing with her, probably just as fast as you can like start a conversation with someone at the same party. And like, you know what I'm saying? I think things can happen. Mm-hmm. I think things can happen just as fast, but like generally they won't happen as fast. What I'm saying is, and I'm going to repeat myself here, but the possibility exists where both could occur equally as fast, but it's much less like you're not going to get it as often with romantic partners.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes, like in the past, I used to think that kind of anecdotally, like if I heard like, so Tinder, right? Like I think that Tinder is not a place to find a romantic partner, but
No, it's not. Yeah.
I met someone, like my cousin's friends, two of them, who got married off of Tinder. So I was like, oh,
Really?
maybe
Really?
it works. Yeah. Well, it didn't work, and I didn't like it. And I still think that it's not a place to find a partner, to find a marriage partner anyway.
Yeah.
So
Maybe so.
so yeah, I genuinely agree with what you have to say. All right, so do you have any siblings?
I have two siblings. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. My younger brother is a year and a half younger than me, while my sister is like 8 years younger.
Have you, so you're the middle child?
No, I'm the oldest child.
Oh, you're the oldest child. Do you think that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My brother's a year and a half younger. Did I say older? I might have said
no,
older.
I might have interpreted wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember, so.
Okay, so you're the oldest. So do you think that it's true what they say about older children, that it's like they get more responsibility on their own, they're more mature, they kind of pave the way for the younger siblings?
Yeah. I'd say the oldest child is always going to be the one that has the most trauma, because you're like the experiment, right? You're like the kid that came into the world first, and your parents had to deal with you first, and they tried all the things out that like they could think of with you first until they got the hang of it and could like properly take care of like the second or the third or the fourth child, doesn't matter. I'm not necessarily more responsible than like my other siblings. I don't think I'm much wiser relative to age, right? So I'm not saying, I'm saying that like obviously they're younger than me. So but if I were to look like a year back at my age and to look at my brother right now, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying, and like
No.
That's do you are you yeah, Rachel, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Are you a homebody, or
a what?
are you a homebody? Somebody who others say, "Come on, come out, let's go out and do things," or are you the person who calls them and says, "Come on, let's go out and do things"?
I fulfill both roles. I mean, sometimes I'm gonna get my friends are in Skopje, they're studying and they're in college. I'm here working, so they're the ones who are supposed to like call me up when they come, right? Because I don't know if they're gonna be here. But if they were all here, then yeah, I would be the one calling them, and they would be the one calling me. I'm not dominant in either areas, but I'm not weak in either areas either. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. What made you quit college?
It was too little theory, I think. Too much data.
Right. Okay. What kind of job do you do now?
I'm working as a waiter right now.
Okay. You get good tips?
Yeah. The place I work with, I'm getting paid more than my parents, so you know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's not, I'm not getting paid more, I'm earning more. So that's the way you should put it.
Okay. So what when you get angry at yourself, give me an example of a time you get mad at yourself and go, God damn it, Damien, why did you do that?
This happens to me like at work. We were preparing, we had a reservation and we were preparing drinks. But I wasn't fully aware of the situation when the guests are coming. I was a little bit like my manager didn't exactly tell me all the details, but and I had a little voice in my head that told me not to do this, but I still did it. I opened up the drinks, like the caps of those glass bottles, right? You know what I'm talking about. I opened them up. I opened them up, and my boss got angry at me, she said what an amateur mistake you made. And after that, for maybe a half an hour to an hour, I was beating myself up in my head, about the whole thing. And so yeah, that's
okay.
Really
gotcha. Sure. Interesting. Okay. So you mentioned art before. Can you talk to me about what area, in what medium you like to be creative, or
visual art? So I like
visual.
drawing. Yeah.
Okay. And do you draw stylized stuff? Do you draw like cartoon kind of stuff? Do you draw photorealistic stuff? What?
Semi-realistic, a bit more towards stylized. I draw digitally, but people have described my drawings as looking like oil paintings. So something like stylized towards realistic, something like that.
Okay. Do you listen to much music?
I do listen to music, yes.
And do you have do you find which is more of a problem for you, that you get bored of listening to the same old things, or that you forget to listen to again things you like a lot?
I don't really have the I don't really have the problem of not listening. You said forgetting to listen to what I like?
Yeah, so in other words, if you're constantly listening to new stuff, then even when you find a great song, you don't really milk the value out of it, because you don't accumulate the good things you've already listened to. Or if you listen to stuff you already know you like, then you get bored of it because you don't have enough new stuff in there.
Well, I mean, I do. The way I listen, I'm not sure how to answer that question, but I can tell you how I go through phases. I rotate the music, but it's always the same songs. So it's or the same style of songs. So right now I'm listening a lot to funk, the TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but funk got popularized by TikTok. Mainly drift funk. Maybe I can place me. I don't think that's too time consuming. But I used to listen to metal, new metal, like Korn. I'm not sure if you know them. Slipknot.
Sure, I know Korn.
Yeah. But I don't really get bored. I'm not maybe you could ask me that again. Maybe I didn't get the question.
Okay, well, I mean, it sounds like you mix it up enough that you're not you don't let anything get too stale before you find new stuff to listen to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How do you define truth?
Truth. This is something that you mentioned in a video once, and like I think you defined it as truth as is a status we afford statements for the sake of like conversation or argument or whatever.
Yeah, that's, you got it exactly right. That's telling right there that you not only, because it's a very powerful frame shifting definition of things. You not only remember it, but remember it word for word. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm down to two possible types, and I'm leaning heavily towards one. I'm just trying to figure out if you're the extroverted or introverted one.
Okay.
Can you talk to me about your relationship with procrastination?
Oh, yeah. It's horrible. I hate I remember when I was in high school, I'd tell myself, I'm gonna study this tonight, and I'd like get to the moment when I need to study, and I'd be too sleepy to study, so I'd like set an alarm clock for 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'd say, okay, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and study it then. And then I'd sleep and wake up at 6 a.m. and like turn the alarm off and get back to sleep, and like, yeah, never do it. So
yeah. Okay, so do you think that other people in your life would believe you to be more extroverted than you actually are, or other people in your life believe you to be more introverted than you actually are?
I'd say people perceive me more extroverted than I actually am. I'd say that. Like,
okay.
I have this thing where I really like parties. Like I was at a party like a few days ago, and I was the one who was, dancing the most and doing the most. Like, and I don't know. It might be something I force myself to do. It's like very satisfying for me to be there and to just let myself loose. I'm not necessarily like a good dancer or anything, but I can headbang because I got this, right? Oh, I've got long hair, right? So it was like a rock concert, and it had a little bit of, not a concert. I don't know how to like what they're called.
It was a band at a party. It was a band at a party.
Band at a party, a live music. That's how we call it here. I was translating the the thing. So, and everyone's sipping their alcohol, getting to know each other, making conversations and stuff, and I'm just there in the middle, just headbanging and like having fun. And then at like it was 2 a.m. I was smashed. Like I had like 4 shots of I don't know, cognac. How brandy is it? I'm not sure how you call it.
We call it cognac too, or brandy. Brandy is like cheap cognac.
I see. Well, I think this was the cheap one, so probably brandy. And like I had 4 shots of that and like two 205s of beer, and like I had been dancing for the entire time, and I was just so beat up, and I like left. and I don't have like a car, or I don't want to wake anyone up to like pick me up. So I went with my bike, and I remember right when I exited the party, my head was really heavy, like because I was headbanging, right, and my muscles were tired, and like my head was really heavy, and I could hear very poorly, and I felt like a dome was around my head, like a heavy dome. So my hearing was impaired, and my head was heavy, right? And it was the longest walk I've had, because I live in a suburban settlement, so it's like 45 minutes away from walking distance. So yeah, it was it wasn't long, as in like longer. It's not that it took me longer to get there, it just felt longer. You know what I'm saying? Like time was passing slower.
Sure. You should protect your hearing when you go see live music by putting toilet paper in your ears. You'll be glad you did when you're my age. I'm proud of myself. When I was young, I protected my hearing, and now my hearing's still great. But like somebody like my dad, who played French horn in a band and never protected his hearing, he was stone cold deaf by the time he died. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't need any unsolicited advice from me. So, okay, here's the deal. I feel pretty confident, but not 100% sure. So let me actually hit some of these kind of questions. Do you know Inky Pinky questions? Have you heard me asking them before?
I've heard them before, yes.
Okay, so an example would be, I'll give you a clue, like hilltop water spout, and tell you it's an Inky Pinky. The answer is mountain fountain. The answer is always rhyme.
Hilltop water sprout. So those are two separate concepts, right?
Right. And they're synonyms basically.
Mountain fountain. Okay, yeah. I've heard these before. Yeah, you refreshed my memory.
Okay, so then how about a superior cold weather shirt? It's an Inky Pinky.
A superior cold weather shirt. So you have superior and cold weather shirt, and it's an Inky Pinky?
Yeah.
Inky Pinky. Better sweater.
Correct. Okay. How about this is a let's see. Okay, so this is okay. I'm trying to like occasionally this happens to me when I'm doing Inky Pinkies, and all of a sudden I can't think of it. Let's see. All right, this is an ink pinky.
Ink
and
Inky?
Ink Pinky. The first word is one syllable, the second word is two. And it's a pleasurable treat in a boxing match.
A pleasurable treat in a boxing match.
Yeah.
A pleasurable treat in a boxing match. The boxing match is the pinky, or you're not telling me?
No, it's the ink.
Right. So So it's probably fight then. Because that's an ink. What's the fight to delight, right?
Very good. Very good. Can you make up one for me?
Okay. Descent, sphere.
Okay. A descent, like a dissenter, or like a descent, like coming down from above?
Coming down. Coming down.
Okay. All right. Okay, so
And it's sorry,
what
it's
is
an ink
it?
pink. It's an ink pink. Sorry.
Ink pink. Okay. Is it? I mean, sphere. You assume it. Okay. Oh, it's a ball fall.
Yeah, ball fall.
Okay, cool. I was thinking globe for a while there. All right. It's pretty okay. So this is what I think you are. Here's what I know for sure: you're either this or the introverted half of it. I think you're an ENTP. You
Okay.
might, in theory, be an INTP, but I'm pretty sure you're an ENTP. You and I think the same way. It's very obvious to me when I'm talking to you that you're an NTP, and obviously you did great on the TI stuff. But just listening to you talk, you're any very robust.
I see.
What type did you think you were coming in?
Either ENTP. I used to think I was an INTP, but then I figured out that I'm not SE polar.
Yeah, I don't think you are either.
I figured out that I wasn't SE polar. So like, and I figured out that I have much more problems with my feelings.
How do you feel emotionally right now?
like this is the thing. I guess happy. I think that's. I mean, because
and did you see how like easily you and Rachel started conversing too? And I like
yeah.
I can. Rachel was looking very comfortable. You know, sometimes man who were typing, she can look a little uncomfortable. Like I don't know how to engage this person. It's very easy for her to engage in ENTP. She's used to it. She does that all the time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you're an ENTP. It's very difficult to definitively type in a defensible way, argumentationally, that someone is definitely ENTP and definitely not INTP.
I see.
You know, you kind of have to look at overall things, and overall things say to me, you're ENTP, not INTP.
I see. Is it difficult because SI and FI are both like shitty and like you can't really tell which one is the polar? Or
well, it may also be difficult for me because FI is my polar, so I don't have I don't usually ask questions to determine where someone's FI is.
Right.
It's like the thing I don't do, and I get to at the end by process of elimination.
I see. Do you find it difficult? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you find it difficult, like typing FI users, or?
No, because what I determine is that they're TE, not TI. You know. And so therefore, they must also be FI.
Yeah, I see. Does people's poor TE when you're in a work environment piss you off?
Yeah. That critical parent works both directions. When I have bad TE, I get mad at myself.
I see.
But I'm also the most critical about other people's TE or TE things.
Yeah,
like,
we had a new bartender, if you can call it that, like a barista, and he did everything wrong and like pissed me off so much. And like he did this. I had taken an order and I needed drinks. And instead of him like giving the drinks I was requesting of him, he went to the fridge and was filling up the fridge with like other types of drinks. And I'm telling the guy, the orders have priority. And and like he was like, I don't have 1,000 hands. And I was like, but the orders have priority. And I kept repeating that. And like I got so pissed off. I went into the bar and like I took the drinks myself, and I didn't talk to the guy for like the next hour or two because I was so
he had his order of operations wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you can also express it as prioritizing the wrong thing. But really, it boils down to you need to complete task A first and then task B after.
Right.
And he had it backwards.
Right.
So yeah, that's a TE thing. It's interesting because I'm not bothered at all by Rachel's TE polar, but but I'll be very critical, for example, of if I go through a drive-through restaurant and I don't think the drive-through's been designed well, I'll say, why did they put that bush right there? It could scrape somebody's car. What the hell? It's just so dumb. Why did they design it like this?
Yeah. Like I'm usually very friendly and like I don't talk much at work. But like this guy, it was the first guy like I had an argument with, and my boss was surprised and everything. Like I even surprised myself to a degree. Like, I don't know. You really pissed me off.
Right on. So I'm assuming you don't really know what you want long term.
I mean, I don't know even how to begin with that like question. I've been thinking about like going back to school, like saving up money because I'm making decent amount of money, and like going to Skopje to study philosophy. Like I've been trying to read philosophical books. Like I read Siddhartha from Hesse. I've been reading like metaphysics from Aristotle, but I haven't gotten to like finishing it at all.
Okay, well, but I mean, that is such countervalued TE to save up money and think you're gonna buy is an education in philosophy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm aware
of it. Anything.
I'm aware of it. Like I went through it. Like, oh, it's gonna be useless, but it's kind of fun, isn't it? Like you know, I don't know.
But here's what I'll warn you about philosophy. It's studying philosophy directly as they do in college is a very slow way to learn philosophy, because you've got all these philosophers who have a couple of core arguments that really comprise what they're saying, and a big book that's got a lot of unnecessary like defending ground that nobody's attacking, right? So because I mostly encountered and studied philosophy by a debate coach's perspective, I just have cards cut from certain philosophers. Like I know, okay, well, Kant's about the moral imperative, categorical imperative, whatever. I know what the argument is there, and then if I have to reference it, I'll look it up in the book and find some piece of the philosophy actual thing that says that, and use that as a card. But I've never actually read this shit at all. If you go to college and learn philosophy, you have to read all those books, and it's like you only really need to read like one page out of the whole book and understand it. You don't need to read all that other stuff.
Yeah, I see. And it's a useless degree too, so.
Yeah. Well, nobody's hiring philosophers. I keep looking in the want ads. Wanted. Why older man to provide insight on the nature of reality? And I never find that job listing.
Right, right.
Well, anyway, I guess that's what YouTube is for.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying, because I was reading metaphysics, and it was, and instead of like reading the whole thing, I went to some YouTube channel of some like philosophy professor, and he described it like as Aristotle's metaphysics being comprised of like 4 causes. So that's formal, material, effective, and what the last cause was like the purpose cause. I don't remember how like it was stated exactly, but basically it's like the material cause is what it's made of. The formal cause is the the NI kind of way of looking at things, where it's the shape, or maybe the SE, or maybe
the identity boundaries.
Right. The effective cause is what constructed it, what led to the creation of it, like son to father relationship. And the purpose cause was like, for what purpose does this thing have? Why was it made, basically? So
what was the first one again, you said?
Material. Or was it formal?
No, formal was second. So what's the material cause? How does that differ from father-son cause?
It's because the formal or the material?
The material.
Because the material cause is what it's physically made out of, while the effective cause is what led to the creation.
So that word cause is being thrown around willy-nilly. What something's made of has nothing to do with cause.
I see.
But I get it. That's why. See, this is the thing. Is like you study philosophy, wanting to get you study Aristotle, blah blah blah. Just jump straight to Heidegger and skip all the bullshit.
So you think I should like go for Heidegger?
I mean, if you're gonna read anything, read Heidegger, because he's the most right of all the philosophers. But remember that none of the philosophers can actually be right because they weren't philosophizing through a frame of cognitive functions. Since they don't understand, first and foremost, why they themselves are attending in the way that they are at the things that they're attending to, and that attentional frame defines their own values and explains why they're a philosopher, then their picture of reality is incomplete.
Right. So they're not starting from the right frame, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So if you study philosophy, you're just reading the history of human wrongness.
Pretty long history.
Yeah, it is. And gradually it has gotten less wrong, I think. Although sometimes it backslides. It's hard to say.
You think like eventually, like the world will eventually accept the cognitive functions as like a thing, as like the meta frame?
I hope so. I mean, the world should understood correctly. Cognitive functions resolve all the significant questions that we need resolved. They explain why people are in dispute about certain things. They explain why this person is convinced by this sort of thing and that person's not convinced, etc. And they are non-normative. So it's like, if you look at Kant and the categorical imperative, basically he's saying, if you're an INTP and you think like I do, then you can be a moral person.
That logic chain. Okay.
but of course it's 700 pages and never mentions himself at all. So
I see.
Yeah, whatever. The thing is, I love philosophy. Kudos to you for embracing the subject matter. I just don't have a lot of belief in educational institutions.
Yeah, yeah, me neither. Me neither. But like, I was emotionally kind of forced to do it because like I had a deal with my girlfriend that like um if I finish school, um or if I work on myself or whatever, I'm like we'd get back together. So
Was she an ESFJ?
probably, yeah.
That's such an ESFJ move. Here's how you respond to that. Darling, listen, ESFJ honey, sweetie pie, I've got two of these for you. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, I always end up with like ESFJs, man. Like
You gotta find yourself an INFJ. That's your
they're hard to
soulmate.
find.
I know
They're
they're hard to find. I know. What you should do is start a YouTube channel and wait until one of them becomes your fan and then marry her.
I hear I hear someone speaking from experience.
Yes, I'm using my experience to inform myself right now. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording. Are you cool with me publishing it?
Yeah, please do.
I'm excited to see what people say. I rarely get to type other ENTPs, so this has been fun.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you too, man.